How about casting the tie-breaking vote on the Inflation Reduction Act? Picking Tim Walz for VP, that's a doozy. Debating Tulsi Gabbard, that didn't go well. Failing the bar exam at least one time that we know of, and having 1,000 cases dismissed because you couldn't handle evidence properly.
No.
I guess that one's not the last 4 years, but that's just me, Mr. Petty. Her response next to this.
This was maybe
This
the
is
worst.
one of those, what is your biggest weakness questions, right? Her answer is an all-time classic.
What weaknesses do you bring to the table, and how do you plan to overcome them while you're in office?
That's a great question, Joe. Well, I am certainly not perfect. So let's start there.
Thanks for clearing that up.
The question was greatest weakness.
What is this, salad?
That's a lot to say.
So I may not be quick to have the answer as soon as you ask it about a specific policy issue sometimes.
She's drunk.
We can tell.
I'm going to want to research it. I'm
the
going to
mannequin
want
on
to
the right.
study it. I'm kind of a nerd sometimes.
Nerd
I confess. And some might call that a weakness, especially if you're, in an interview or just kind of, being asked a certain question and you expected to have the right answer right away. But that's how I work.
Okay, so according to the tally I have here, that now puts the world historical tally at 50 billion women to 0 who've ever answered that question honestly.
Seems
Nick.
So her worst quality is that she studies things.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Which is a good quality in everybody else.
exactly.
That's her worst.
My worst quality is
I'm a nerd.
I'm so. Could you
That's
imagine?
That's a compliment. Yeah, you're a real bookworm. You.
She would be the water girl for the chess club.
Yes.
If she showed up, there would be an abject panic. No. We want to be a good chess club.
I love a president, by the way. Ma'am, we have about 30 seconds before a missile gets launched. Well, I'd like to do some research.
Right.
And I would like to look into that. I'm a nerd.
Yes.
Ma'am, we don't have time. Yes, but I do.
Here's the thing.
How do you
It would
spell
be
trident?
fine if you did a bunch of research and you came back and answered. But
still
you do
haven't.
neither of those things. And her answer on like past mistakes and greatest weakness, it gets worse.
Is there something you can point to in your life, political life, or in your life in the last 4 years that you think is a mistake that you have learned from?
I mean, I've made many mistakes.
Dump.
And they range from, if you've ever parented a child, you make lots of mistakes.
We said the last 4 years.
In my role as vice president, I mean, I've probably worked very hard at making sure that I am well versed on issues, and I think that is very important. It's a mistake not to be well versed on an issue and feel compelled to answer a question.
Question on weakness. I'm sorry. Make that world tally history 50 billion and 1.
Yes.
What the fuck was
To
that?
0
that
who've
was the
answered it
worst.
honestly. That's one thing that people liked about, I don't know if you remember Barack Obama.
Yeah.
I think he was on stage with, I believe it was like Hillary Clinton and John Edwards.
Smoke weed.
And they said, what's your greatest weakness? And he answered first. And he said, my desk is messy. I can be a pretty messy person. Then they go to Hillary Clinton. She's like, I work too hard. And they go to John Edwards. He's like, I care too much. And Barack Obama was like, can I do it again? I didn't realize that was the kind of answer we're supposed to give. And it made people like him.
Yes, because he was a little bit honest at least.
And I still didn't vote for that jerk.
No, of course not. But he could be
you're
funny.
right.
He could be personable.
Yes.
Okay, if I was advising Kamala Harris, and I'm not, I'd be like, okay, mistakes. I don't know. How about helping bail out rioters who went on to commit violent crimes, being the last person in the room and the person in the room to repeatedly advise on the Afghanistan withdrawal? How about casting the tie-breaking vote on the Inflation Reduction Act? Picking Tim Walz for VP, that's a doozy. Debating Tulsi Gabbard, that didn't go well. Failing the bar exam at least one time that we know of, and having 1,000 cases dismissed because you couldn't handle evidence properly.
No.
I guess that one's not the last 4 years, but that's just me, Mr. Petty.
I think Tim brought up the best point.
Yeah.
She basically said it's a mistake not to be well versed in a topic.
I don't know what she said.
Yeah, she double
a minute
talked
ago-
on that.
Yes, a minute ago she's
Yeah.
like, I don't maybe have the answer. I like to go research stuff. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
Hold on a second here.
My greatest, that's my greatest weakness is I read too much. I listen too much. I care too much.
I'm too honest.
I'm too middle class.
In Oakland.
Can't shake it. Also, I don't know what happened. I don't know why she was being asked a question by Let Himself Go Doug Funny. But his next question was if Patty Mayonnaise likes him. Hey, if you're still watching this, congratulations. It's been free this whole time. Consider hitting the notification bell or watching one of these videos for more like-minded content. I don't know when this is airing, when you're watching this. It could be in the future after Skynet has fallen. If it's 3 years from me filming, it's definitely fallen.